Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you something I've been working on for the past week. We are doing a swap over in the Uncommon Guild Facebook group. It is a Dark Academia altered file folder swap. And we were altering our files however we wanted to, and then adding in a list of ephemera. And for the items we had to include for our partners to use however they want to, 5 book pages, a sheet of stamped tissue paper, 4 pieces of ephemera, and then we had to do a scavenger hunt where we found an oddity, which could be bug, bones, nature, typewriter, book, writing utensils like a feather pen or something like that, a quill, cloche tag, shrubbery and foliage, skeleton keys, or potion bottles. We could pick 4 from that list. So I picked quite a few more than 4, and I had so much fun doing this. So I'm just going to do a quick flip through and kind of show you all the parts and pieces so that I can share it with them as well. This is the cloche tag that I made that I showed a tutorial on this channel a couple days ago, so go check that out if you're wanting to make a 3-dimensional cloche tag. So the first thing, I am going to be closing this with this piece of ribbon, and it will be pinned on the side just to kind of keep everything closed, because this has gotten to be kind of a chunky monkey. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. So the first thing is this little it's a little tag, a little beaded tag. I can pull all the beads out. There's a couple of little ones in here, and that's just attached to a little paper clip type clip. And then there's all these fun little wire wrapped beads and this little mushroom I thought was pretty cool, and then I just added the little cloche tag on top of that. So for the front, I decided to do this vintage typewriter, and then I took some glue, and I don't know if you could see it, but maybe you can. All the little buttons are kind of shiny and raised. I put little glue drops on every single button to make it feel really cool. And I've added this very scholarly lady, and that's an actual old photo with a little acetate, printed acetate over the top. This is from an antique book on moths, and it had like that really yummy aged paper look to it. And this is the little paper clay skull that I made, and then I just distressed it with some distress ink and some embossed pieces, and this little printed scrapbook paper here and here that I just changed with some distress ink around the edge. Then I cut this little hole here so that I could put this little specimen tag in, and there's a little tag attached to it, and this just slides out, and then there's a little specimen tag right there. And so on the inside, hopefully you can see it all okay. There's a lot to look at on this first inside area here, and I had a whole lot of fun making this up. So the first thing is, this is a little bag that I created, and I made, and it says Ministry of Magic because this kind of has just a tiny bit of a Harry Potter flair to it. So I went ahead and made up some wax seals. There's a mushroom, an owl, a cauldron, a Ministry of Magic, and a platform 9 3/4. And those all have some sticky backs on them, so that they're basically stickers. They can put them on whatever they want to put them on. Those were super fun to make up, and it's just got a little piece of sticky right there that holds that shut, so then that can go right back on there. Okay, and so this is a little wax paper, half of a wax paper bag, and it just unties here. This is some antique embossed wrapping paper, some stamped images, another seal. There's all kinds of ephemera in here, a lot more than 4 pieces, but just to kind of give you an idea, there's lots and lots and lots of tickets and tags and clocks and all kinds of fun stuff in there. There's one of those little guys, some antique tickets, and there's some printed ephemera, things that I found that I thought would be cool for this swap. Oddities, there's some bugs, all kinds of stuff. There's antique anthropology, word cards, all kinds of stuff in there. Just tons of little bits of ephemera that they can use however they want. And there's a little skeleton key in there and a clock face and some images with some typewriters, and this is a printed piece that I thought was kind of cool. So lots and lots of stuff that they can use for creating in there. Stick that back in there, and then I'll tie that closed. And this was so much fun to create all these pages and these flips and kind of create a file folder however you wanted to. This one's actually a whole bunch of those little cards kind of tiled on here, and then I did some stencil work and just dressing the edges and all that. So I'll go over here and flip this open. So I'm going to give you an idea of what this looks like. I just saw this little dapper guy and I thought he looked really cool with the moth wings, so I made him into like a king of the fairies kind of a guy. And right there it has like a little magical creatures thing on there, and it says, I thought I saw something. And then there's a little tag in here. This is something I made during lockdown during 2020, and I just loved how it turned out, and I thought it went with this swap pretty well, so I went ahead and stuck that in there. And over here, this is a really old wax paper bag that I found in a book all folded up, and I just took that and I put this little skeleton sticker on the front, and then inside it has like tickets. It has some washi tape samples. They have a backer on them. There's a lady in here. There's a nice little lady paper doll, one of Tim Holtz paper dolls in there. So lots of fun stuff they can create with. And yeah, that's just so much fun. And that is the little tag that holds on the tag on the front. And then in here, we've got a printed piece. I thought this was a cool image online. This is an antique postcard. And then in here, I've just kind of altered a little paper folder thing here. And then inside of here, I cut out a bunch of my die cuts. I have a lot of Halloween and like Harry Potter die cuts and stuff. And so I just kind of cut out some different ones I thought, you know, might be fun. This is Norbert from Harry Potter. So Expecto Patronum. So, and then these are just some Halloween like lanterns and stuff. So I went ahead and cut all those out, and I put them in different baggies just so that they don't get, you know, tangled and torn, because die cuts, especially real fine ones like that, can get tangled and torn pretty easily. So I went ahead and did that. In there. And so there's that one. Flip that back over, and then we'll go to this section here. I love how layered up this section looks. It just turned out so cool, and I love it. So at the top here, I've just made this. This is an antique slide cover. And so I just put a vintage image in there. I think that's from the Tim Holtz line. And then I just put different and turned it into a paper clip so that it can be, just slides right onto the edge there. This is a little tag. It's a clothing tag actually, and I just used some black paint to kind of cover up the clothing line name, but I just love this tag. I thought it was so cool, and you know, it just went. So, and then I stamped a little skeleton guy there, but that can be used for anything really. So here is some, I think this was some rice paper that I used stencil on a long time ago, and I just love how kind of cool it looks. So I went ahead and included that, and this is a tea and coffee dyed piece of paper that I made a long time ago. I don't know what kind of paper I used, but it just turned out so cool, and I wish I could find that paper. So, yeah, so let's stick that back in there. That type of paper, it just really distressed well. I think it was some kind of like specialty cotton paper or something, because it just has such cool distressed edges. So in here, I added a piece of this is like a Halloween and magical creatures kind of washi tape sheet. I have a roll of this, and I just thought there's some really cool images and stuff on there, like magical creatures and like witch hats and, you know, Salem and all kinds of fun stuff on there. And then we were supposed to stamp on a tissue paper sheet. Well, I have this really old roll of deli paper that has this really cool aged look to it. So I just went ahead and stamped on it and turned that into my stamped sheet. So I used some of my cool favorite stamps and just kind of stamped that up so they could tear this apart and, you know, Mod Podge it onto something that they want. Do other projects with it. Slide that back in there. Alright. And so this has a little, I made this little, it's a little paper clip out of a kind of an oval paper clip that I had, and I just used some of the ink, or not ink, wax seals, and I just made a little wax seal over it to create a little paper clip, and that kind of holds this little folder closed. And then I have this, I think this is from an ephemera pack, but I'm not sure which one, and then I just added some words that says they have secrets. And then this is a little ephemera piece that I just put on a little swivel there, and the pretty little flowers, and it opens up, and then there's some images there, some printed images, books and things. Cool little vellum hand. And then this is like a really antique tobacco pouch paper something. I just thought it was cool. I have several of them that have been in my stash for a long time, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to share those. So just stick that back on there. This can be a little finicky. It's kind of thin. I'll stick that back there. And then I just added a Tim Holtz embellishment at the top there, and this little guy just slides right back on. Alright, so on to the next section. Alright, so in here is most of the ephemera and stuff. I found these at the Dollar Tree a while back, probably last year. And I thought they were so cool, and I just didn't get around to using them, but I thought they went really well with this swap, so I went ahead and included those for my partner to use. Those are just some rub-ons. And then over here, I've placed on my book pages. I added quite a bit more than just the 5. And then in here is a little die cut thing that I made, and then I added some of the little washi stickers. And this has a little pocket. They can set that in. That's a really old book ledger page thing. And so I've got some book pages with spiders, some book pages with vintage florals and things. I kind of love this one. I think that one looks so cool. Lots on there. Greg's studies, shorthand studies. This one, I think this page is kind of cool just because it's from a book that had, like, I don't know if you can see, I don't know if you can see it. Those are all little holes that were eaten through. The book was eaten through. I don't know if it was by moths or what, but there's like little holes eaten through the book pages. There you can kind of see it. But I just thought that was kind of interesting. Then this one came from an old scientific journal, and there's like a lady in an electric box. That's pleasant. Some end pages from books that look really old. A cool little scene there. This is some more end pages, and it has these really pretty little florals on it that are kind of hard to see, but they're really pretty. I love this one because it has like the skeleton of the elk, and it's all in German. And then this one, I love this page. It's so pretty. It's got moths on it. It's from that antique book page of moths. The only reason I tore this up is because the book was in really bad condition. You could see like the pages are super kind of brittle and they were falling out of the book and everything anyway, so I decided to turn them into art pieces. But this is really fun and would be really cool. Kind of decoupaged onto other things. It works really well for that when it has like some kind of substructure to be holding it together, because it is a little bit brittle. Okay, and we'll just slide these back in. And so this is just a little pocket that I created to hold these pages, and that holds them in nice and snug. And so over here, I love this how this turned out, because I used some rub-ons from the Dollar Tree. They have these ones, or they did have, I don't know if they have them anymore, but they had this really cool font, and it has like all these different sizes of letters. Anyway, so I just put Strange on there. I thought that was kind of cool and went pretty well. So this is another one of those wax seal paper clips that I created out of the little owl, and a little printed page. And then this is one of the Tim Holtz Halloween guys. I love this back piece here, so cool. And so here's some Halloween paper with bats, and this is just a little envelope. I love the inside of this. And then I did some stamping, some rub-ons, and some stenciling on this. And then inside of here are some reproductions of old book plates. I thought these went really well with what we're doing here, so I added those for my partner. This was actually a book that that I found about all these old book plates, and they had a whole bunch of really cool images in it, so I have used those in a lot of different things. So then I'm going to put that back on there. Go back on there. Alright, so inside of this, I have included a little stencil that they can use with some textures, a little piece of scrapbook paper that I thought was pretty cool. There's a little folder in here that they can alter or change up however they want to. There's some little die cut pieces, some Tim Holtz journaling cards, some more printed pieces with book pages, more Tim Holtz cards, and more book pages. So I thought those were pretty cool. Lots of stuff for them to use however they want in their creating. Alright, and then over here, we get to the end, and this just has a embossed tag. This is like a Tim Holtz style embossed tag. And this is something I printed out a long time ago for another project and ended up not using it, but I kind of love it. It's like an old postcard that had this image, and so then I just printed it out on top of each other so it becomes a journaling card, or you could glue it together and just use it like that. I thought that was pretty cool. So in addition to the stamped tissue paper, I went ahead and stamped a bag as well, so I just kind of created that. And then in here is some antique doily, paper doilies. There's a bunch stacked up of that kind, and then that one. And then I just embossed some manila folder and aged it so they can use these however they want to in their creating. So lots of fun stuff there for them to use. And I think I covered all of the bases as far as what we were supposed to include, and I hope my partner really enjoys this because I had a lot of fun working on it. So I appreciate everybody who signed up for the swap, and there's I think over 20 people joined into our swap, so that's going to be fun. If you like the strange and unusual and like paper crafting, go ahead and come on over and join us at the Uncommon Guild Facebook group. Yeah, so this is the back of my file folder, and that's the end. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Hit that like button and that subscribe button. Bye!